Hey everyone, just had a recording session here with good friend Sina, and he was playing the Persian Santur. There are many different types of Santur, and I've recorded a number of them. There's also the kanun, which is an instrument from the Middle Eastern regions that's plucked. The Santur is played with these little strikers with felt, and Sina was telling me this is an Iranian Santur, and it's a little bit larger than some of the others, and it has this very sweet sound. So we got it tuned up to a specific raga, which is Charukeshi, where he was playing along with the other Indian instrumentalists who are playing what's called an alaap. And we really just wanted to capture, right when we started listening to the instrument, I learned a lot about it just from him bringing it out. One of the things that I didn't know was that if the bottom is not on top of something stable, like a table, or sometimes they use the case itself, the instrument really rings out. So essentially by dampening the bottom and having it on top of something soft, it actually controls the sound. And so we sort of worked actually with the materials. This is a sort of a velour over top of it, but there's actually a sort of a rubber mat underneath, and just trying to get the right amount. And Alex and myself sort of listened to it, and the instrument itself just projects sound, again, in a 360-degree fashion. It's not intended to project forward. It really is just projecting up, obviously because of the sounding chamber and the way that the body is projecting through the top. And so therefore the tight mics were sort of our first starting point of like, okay, where does this instrument sound good? How close do we want for the sentiment of the music? We listened to some of the other instrumentalists and got a sense of distance and proximity. And then Alex was mentioning the idea that actually there's sort of a unified sound. Even though Sina is playing with two strikers, there definitely is some stereo content, but there's also just sort of a unified sound. So we did an LCR with the Schoeps, the MK4s, and later I learned that was also beneficial because there are 3 octaves on the instrument. And so as Sina was playing, he's sort of bouncing on either side of the little bridges. And so the ability to have LCR sort of projecting that across the front row of speakers was exceptional. And then just the height information is just adding realism and depth, and such a beautiful sound. And in Hindustani classical music, there is a santur. There's a North Indian santur that's played. It's a different shape. It's a bit more like I guess, more box shape. It's not a box, and there are some very famous artists who play that. And there's actually a really famous record called Call of the Valley, where Hari Prasad Chaurasia and Shiv Kumar Sharma, who's the sort of the most famous of the North Indian santur players. That sound is one of the earlier Indian records that I ever listened to, and it's a very, very successful record. And to be able to bring together sarod, sarangi, my instrument, the bass veena, which has not been recorded yet for this, and vocals, as well as the Iranian santur, was just such a beautiful texture, and they just hugged each other in this powerful way. And so just a simple 7 mic setup, as we do here with this project, but I think Alex especially did such a great job of just getting the distance so that when you're in the other room listening, the mics disappear, and it feels like you're sitting here listening to the instrument in person. So enjoy, and thanks for checking out the Santur setup.